And we're live, ladies and gentlemen, for King of the Hill, or King of the Pool, as we're looking for the playoffs. We have before us the best ability draft players have been duking it out for the last 6 weeks in the groups as we look to move forward into the playoffs and get ready for some amazing ability draft. We have with us some guest casters today. We'll get into those guys a little bit later. My partner in crime, Canadian Chicken, is missing. He has flown the coop, but he'll be back later to join us. Right now, let's go over what we have in front of us, as myself and Chicken will be back in to do the hosting here for the North American stuff later on, but for right now, I am RGB Knights, and I will be your host this evening as we go over the playoffs for the King of the Pool. Getting into our brackets, we're going to be covering the EU division today and the NA division, but we're going to be starting off with the EU bracket tonight, covering our Russian team versus the Badasses here. And we'll get into a little bit more about the teams here as we sort of drill into the bracketing, but we have later on tonight the North American bracket as well that we'll be dealing with as they are scheduled to play later on this evening. For those that don't know, today is also patch day, so we may be wonderfully interrupted by a big ass patch that's about to drop right in the middle of all this. But we're ability draft players. We live dangerously, or at least we love to live dangerously. So we're gonna roll the dice and we're going to hope that everything plays out just right here, but if it doesn't, we've got a few contingency plans in place, so no worries. But back to our EU bracket here, and our wonderful streaming partners are going to be covering some of the other games this evening. So this evening, we'll end up covering Drugalki versus Badass, our good old Russian friends versus our European brothers. We're going to battle it out tonight. These teams have been duking it off, as I mentioned, for 6 weeks in the playoffs here, or in the group, looking to get into the playoffs, and these two have secured their spot. And we have our second seeded team here, Drugalki, versus our 7th seeded team, Badass, duking it out. But we do have another caster that's looking to cover some other games, so if you're looking to cover and see some other games here, be on the lookout, as I believe we have... Who is it that's covering our other games today? Let's take a look. Oh yes, it's Young Edelman's covering our other games today, and we'll be covering No Jungle versus TRC here as well. So be on the lookout for that as well if you want to see some other games, but stick with us here as we got the legendary Gareth and Knoxville to come in as our casters today. Oh, and now I've gone and done it. There we go. There we go. And these guys are helping me work out all of the bugs this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are in the world, as we're working through some new things. But it's great. We have some casters live here. Welcome Knoxville. Welcome Gareth. As I literally got off my call with my other team, who is literally doing, good morning stuff right now. So I'm thinking of good morning. To you guys, it's good evening. To me, it's literally, I just finished my lunch. So wherever we are in the world, it's 4 o'clock somewhere, right? So here to that. Yep. We are a diverse group. We have, quite a great little group here in North America. You guys have a great little group there in Europe that play quite dedicatedly, and there's a great little group in CSE as well that play quite dedicatedly as well. I'm good friends with the leaders over there, the Vietnam guys that run that Discord, and they do a good job of running a bunch of events and things over there. Hopefully next year we can reach out to them and maybe do a little CSE action and get them involved in the league next year, which would be kind of interesting. But, well, we have China. China's a whole other ball of wax in reality. But yeah, breaking into China would be huge. That's a whole other market in reality. But well, they had a big tournament not that long ago, actually. I think back in the summer last year, they had a bunch of streamers that kind of picked it up, and they did a big sort of Chinese event where they had a bunch of people going in and doing the oh my god mode, as they call it there. And it got really, really popular with them, streaming it and everything else, to the point that we still see the little bump in the statistics of how many games were played during that particular week, because it's really offset everything. But both of you are legends in the ability draft community and have been involved with this for a very long time. Why don't you guys talk a little bit about, sort of your introduction to ability draft, how you got involved with the scene, and, we'll take it from there.
On a weekly basis have like in-house games or pub quite frequently as well. So it's I don't know. I jumped back in the deep end, queued up against them. Playing with Buka and Knoxville, queue against Tauntaun. And you're like, oh god, what am I doing in this game? And getting dumpstered. Get invited to their party and realize, okay, these guys are dedicated. 15,000 AD games in their history.
Yeah, I mean, I started playing. I didn't really play that much ability draft back in the past. I mostly played like the Warcraft 3 map called Lod, and yeah, it was like a kind of like a forerunner to where you get like chaotic spells and you can do everything. You can go wild. You have low cooldowns, and the game gets kind of broken. And then more recently, I started playing probably around mid 2019 or so. I started playing the Custom Hero Clash or Custom Hero Chaos or whatever that game was with Buka.
Well, there were like 3 of them.
yeah, they all started copying each other, became the same thing. So I started playing that with Buka and his friends. Buka is one of the developers for Layerearth, part of Moonduck Studios, behind the scenes kind of guy. Worked with him on a few projects. And yeah, we started playing for fun. Then he got me more and more into ability draft. And then I said, man, the statistics suck in this game. So I said, I'll make a website to track it all down, because there were some things which are just like hard to work out, like which spell has got the best win rate, and it depends on whether you pick it first or second. And everyone was like, Finger is such a good spell, and it just seemed like such a trap, and it was. So there were so many like interesting questions to answer. And yeah, I mean, I think in
Now,
the
was
past,
that before or after you discovered Desolator? For those that don't know, I had created Desolator many, many years before Knoxville came along with WinRun.io and put me out of business.
Yeah, I mean, there were lots of things that you can do that you can just get from like the generic API, the like Valve API. But to answer like the more interesting questions, you need to like pause the games. And yeah, I mean, we're going to be hitting a milestone soon and some more features coming out, but we're close on 10 million games being paused. I think we're going to hit the milestone, depending on the patch today, sometime in the next 3 or 4 days. And yeah, only with pausing the games, you can get the interesting stuff like pick order and some of the more interesting and unique statistics that are coming out in the future are only empowered through being able to do that. Like shards in the past, you could only get by pausing the game, or who has a shard, who has the Aghanim's ability, Aghanim Scepter that they've eaten. There's a variety of things like that. So, yeah, interesting.
More importantly,
yeah.
Knoxville, you created meme points.
Oh yeah, so meme points are like the meme MMR. It's like a leaderboard, and yeah, we have a leaderboard system. And once again, when we're hitting that milestone, we're looking to reinvigorate this and make some improvements in the system. So some of the people at the top might not find themselves at the top anymore. I'm just gonna carry on iterating until I am like top 200 or something. Then I know the system's working as intended.
Yeah. I know it's working perfectly when I'm right in the middle, because that's exactly where I
Yeah.
need to be.
So that's about it.
There's a lobby.
We have a
I
lobby. I'm in
see
the
a
lobby.
lobby active.
I'm also
yes.
in the lobby.
So
Yeah.
we will.
Well, the fact that both of us are in the lobby means that we are halfway to victory, and there are other people in the lobby too who have created the
Halfway
lobby.
to starting on time, and starting on time means we finish on time, which means the patch doesn't hit mid-series. That's our timeline right now.
Gareth and I have been talking about this like a little bit on off for like the last couple of days, and we can't discuss betting or anything about that, but there are sizable wagers involved on whether or not the patch is going to destroy the series.
I'm the eternal pessimist. I've cast so many games on patch day or seen tournaments. What there's like Star Ladder LAN 6-7 years ago that had patch hit in like grand finals. Dota Pit had patch hit grand finals. The patch doesn't care. The patch will come no matter what.
Yeah.
I've worked Dream League so many years where I've been doing in-game stats, and I used to do it from work because like Dream League used to start so early. So I'd get to work early, finish work, and I wouldn't have time to get home. So I would just start working and do the stats from work. And yeah, the patch days always made me have to get like a taxi home because the like public transport wasn't running by the time that day ended.
It's fun though. You get to open up a page of 3,000 lines of text that say all these things have changed.
Yeah, I mean,
I wonder.
it's bad for us, but it's worse for the players, and that's the best thing.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
not worse for us.
Punish the players. Have we ever had a patch note hit where there's like a dedicated AD section? Like we've had, obviously, fix this in AD come up in like little text patches here and there. But has there been a main patch or a big patch that has had like ability draft section that has had changes for it?
Not since
No.
the 7.0
I think only the janitor
patch.
slips his own little, after everyone comes and then does all the main work, the janitor comes in. And
It's like
just fixes
PS.
up. Yeah.
PS AD fixed. All bugs gone.
Oh,
Signed
yeah.
the janitor.
The best thing, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but the best thing ever was when there were just an infinite number of black holes you could have on the map. You could just carry on making them over the whole map, no problem. That was the greatest thing ever. You just teleport bottom and there's a black hole going on.
There's black holes and chakrams and all sorts of dumb stuff.
And the thing is that there's a lot of new players who play AD, and they must see this and go, what is... Like, they're just like, oh, this is par for the course. Black holes everywhere. But yeah, a lot of players do drop out, and yeah, that was one of the goals originally with the whole ethereal project, was just making sure that the project became, or the game mode became more accessible to newer players. So it's been hard to measure that kind of thing, but we've been trying to get the numbers going up and up, and like RGB said, overall we have seen huge improvements over time, especially when there's no Agnum's Labyrinth on, so I'm expecting the ability draft numbers to rise up. As soon as this patch starts getting a bit boring, AD numbers will carry on rising.
Yeah, especially with lots of eyes on it, like with Purge's tournament, Slack's joining in with that. This league and a bunch of like top tier guest casters like Synderen and Suns fan. Trent and Lyrical, I can't wait for them to get their hands on their first AD cast, because that's going to be the kind of first reaction content that we all need.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be
I mean,
great.
we're looking still at even on a like, now that we're saying the numbers are coming down a little bit with Ag's Labyrinth and such. There's still 20,000 matches on an average weekend, single day, on like a Saturday or a Sunday, and those are pretty substantial numbers for a game mode like this. A lot of active players, and yeah, there's a lot of players on the top leaderboards who we're going to be seeing, not necessarily today, I don't think as many, but there are a lot in this tournament that are playing, who, like you said, will be crushing people's souls.
And we love having our souls crushed.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Rihanna
almost already in the
Sunstrike
lobby here.
comes
I
to
think
mind.
we're waiting on just one or two more
Yeah,
people.
I mean, you were talking about it a little bit earlier. The memories of our early games against Tauntaun and how we finally beat him. It felt like we'd world firsted some World of Warcraft dungeon or something. Like that was
You'd
the level.
completed the Dark Souls trilogy speedrun in record time without getting hit.
Yeah, like that game was one of the hardest of all time, and yeah, I'm still 1 in 14, but that's a good record to have against someone like him.
The Rearm Sunstrike one was during the Animajor. Suns Fan, Synderen, and a bunch of others were queuing like all game modes, and I was there. I was like we just played like AP, and then I went to coach to swap for someone, and they rolled AD out of all modes, and they're like, "Nice meme game," and they go against Tauntaun and his stack. I told them like 7 times, do not let him get rearm. They let him get rearm. Do not ever, under any circumstances, let him get Sunstrike with rearm. They let him have it, and they were cowering in their fountain like 16 minutes in, just being pummeled by ion cannons.
Yeah, well, that's just what happens, you know. Sometimes you get matched against Tauntaun, sometimes you get matched against Darrentai, and you just, you know, the game's going to be easy or he's going to dodge. Just going to throw some shoutouts there. Now, see, Darrentai is the person I played the most games against. He's my biggest rival, 16 games. And I have a losing record against him.
Oh, do
7 and
you?
9. 7 and 9, yeah. But a lot of those
Sad.
times, you know, just me and me and Buka versus his 5 stack or something. That's one of the nice things. Like, it's one of the worst things, but the best things about ability draft. It forces you to play with friends. You play with more friends. You're able to manipulate the draft. You're able to generally, not when you're playing with people like Rob, you're able to make sure that you don't have a jungler or that you don't have 4 cores. You know, you're able to, you know, not grief yourself to start the
I
game off.
thought I thought the goal of AD was to draft, play, but the ultimate goal was at the end of the game when you inevitably lose was to blame 5 stacks and that 5 stacks are ruining
Yeah.
matchmaking.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like you play against like not a 5 stack who are the sweatiest tryhards, and then right at the end they're like, wow, you guys are such tryhards, and you're just like, we bought no wards. We didn't buy wards. How can we be tryhards? Yeah, so I don't know. A lot of interesting stats. I mean, that's one of the things that I'm a big stats guy. I love the stats. I love looking through my own stats and my friends who I play with. So one of the allies that I played with is Destroyer of Cheese, a well-known member of the ability draft community. I'm 11-0 with this fellow. I don't know how that's possible, since I distinctly remember the one game.
Synergy.
Yeah, that's anti-synergy, but we've somehow won. So that in itself is a great story. I mean, who are some of your players? Who are your players who you've got the most games with? I mean, probably me is near the top.
Most games, you, but only a 66% win rate. Then
Whoa.
Blop 93 games, 86% win rate. But yeah, like for me, your point kind of centers around like group knowledge. Like obviously you're able to dictate where the draft goes if you're talking and communicating as a team, but like group knowledge far outweighs individual knowledge in AD. Like
Yeah, that's true.
you'll look at a draft and you think, oh, there's sticky with Sunray, or there's sticky with Nature's Grasp or something, and you'll be like, oh, there's Primal split with Necro passive, or you want to go Radiance, you'll see these little things, and then you'll get through the entire draft, and then you realize, wait, Tauntaun has Spirit Bear with Death Pact. He can eat his bear and become invincible. How did I not see that? And then you realize that he knew that little, 2-spell build that you forgot or you didn't quite see in the middle of the mess of abilities in the middle of the draft.
And
So you
it's all
have
the weird
players who
interactions you
know
have to
these,
know as well.
all these weird little things.
Like what works with Swashbuckle? Like that in itself could be a trivia quiz. Like, does this work with Swash? Doesn't it? Does this use mana? Like, do you need mana? Like, yeah, there's so many weird interactions that also tie back to Dota 2 knowledge and how the game's going to break with this new patch coming out. Uh, but yeah, I mean, you
What was that
definitely
bug
do learn a lot.
recently? There was the bug with Clink searing arrows, right? And his barrage, where it would just like burn all of your mana if you weren't Clinks.
Yeah,
There's like some weird little things like that where you're like, it still does that. Okay. Yeah. So
Well,
then you've
I
got to
can give.
know like, good interactions, but you've got to know bad interactions as well. Like, you think about sticky napalm as one, you want lots of damage instances, but you've also got to know some spells damage more than once per second, or the damage, every 2 seconds or whatever, right? So you've got to know what looks good and is like a noob trap and what is actually good.
And then there's the spells which just kind of don't make sense but are amazing, like Inner Fire and Huskar. When you think about Huskar, you think about the Burning Spears, you think about the Berserker's Blood. But when it comes to the most important spell that Husker has, it's got to be Inner Fire. It's such a utility, the third round value pick. I mean that's
Well,
really the whole draft. It's all about the value, avoiding the broken combos and value.
it just, I mean, NFI does so much. Ooh.
That's the part. Okay, so the panel ready to roll, and the ability
He's a
draft.
chicken.
It's a chicken. Well, if he's a chicken, Megan talk to my friend, which is a duck. I have a duck, so you can talk. Birds can talk to each other.
Do I need an
I mean,
animal now? I need to go get an animal from somewhere?
if you were to ask Jenkins, the birds are always talking to each other because they're cameras and they're spying on you or something. Man, that guy's weird.
At some points, I've unplugged my monitor.
How you've
That's impressive.
what? Chicken joins and things break.
I told you. I mean, Knights told you.
Goodness.
I told you.
Is there anything special?
Oh well, that's very good
Mulligan.
because I'm gonna.
So dire mulliganed, I guess.
What do I have to do? Sorry, I have not done the mulligan before.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have a mulligan, at which point I'm going to switch to the Be Right Back, and we'll get into the
Okay.
lobby.
But
Alright, alright. Okay, so sorry about
do we
that,
do we have a
everyone.
confirmation on who mulliganed? It was Dyer that mulliganed. Okay.
I'm gonna reposition my camera because I happen to have broken my graphics card and fixed it in that
Oh
short
no.
break. Anyway, delightful draft. We're finally in.
I like this Radiant hero pool.
Oh, okay. Well,
Pugner, lots of int. You've got Jug TB as like tanky cores.
yeah,
Clinks
TB's
is
one
the
of the
one that I
best.
don't like, but Bane is real good as like a support.
Yeah, TB's one of the top models in the game, and probably the second best melee model after Nagasiren. It always alternates between the two of them,
Hmm.
but
Who's top now? Is it still like Gyro, Prophet?
yeah, I just had a look now. It's Nature's Prophet, Gyro, Sniper, Terrorblade, Dazzle, Hoodwink, Snapfire, Nagasiren. But like between Nagasiren and Terrorblade, it's like zero, like 0.5%. So
Yeah.
it's very close
But then like
between them.
on the other side, tanky strength heroes are good also, right? We've got 4 strength heroes. You can build pretty much anything you want on them.
Yeah, so they're gonna go for Thirst, Blade Fury. Okay,
No
pretty.
bulwark pick.
They need to put it on the right kind of hero, and the Mars would have been that one. But I think that's Dyer being greedy here and hoping that they can get it onto the Magnus, because that would be like one of the ideal targets. So tanky. There's also Berserker's Blood available.
I mean, there's
Alright.
all 3 of them, like Tusk Mars, Magnus. They all could have taken it. But yeah, they're opting for like early damage or farming, right? With Bulwark, you need Aghanims. You need to get to that one point where you are strong. Reflection's such a good spell to have.
I would
So
say
this
that
means
normally
that Jug and TB are going to be moving away from right-click cores and actually
that,
going more utility.
that seems. I mean, well, Reflection is good, especially good on the Terrorblade base model because you have the level 10 talent, which gives it the extra 2 seconds of duration, and that is actually really nice. But what I will say is, yeah, I'm a bit surprised that Juggernaut isn't playing carry, high agi gain. There's always a lot of good spells that are super solid with him. But also, I would say that it's interesting that Huskar has picked up track so early. Um,
With
one
no
of my
invis
favorite.
in the pool. Like what, one invis because
There's two
Bounty
invis
Hunter
in the pools.
Clinks? There's 2?
Yeah.
What's the second one?
Oh, there's only one. Yeah. There's Shadow Walk and there's
Oh, no,
Skeleton Walk.
there is. There's 2. There's Clinks and Bounty. Yeah, you're right.
And they picked up one, so it's like still can be good. But yeah, seems like Terrorblade's going to be going utility here. Magnus is going meta, and yeah, the reason I will say that I don't like Reflection being picked up so early is that they're up against these tanky melee cores, not going to do that much damage to themselves. They're not glass cannons, so that's interesting, I guess. I will say also that Searing Arrows as a first pick is really kind of strange.
Yeah, it's not great. Like you can maybe argue it's Clink's model, and there's lots in the pool that you can get on the way back.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't think it's ideal. I would much rather have like the Clink's gone Shockwave or Spear or something himself, and then have Juggernaut rather go for Berserker's Blood, right click carry, go Rage, go Feast, etc.
Yeah, there's a bunch of strange things here. So Janada not taken, Rage not taken, Bulwark we've discussed. The
I think
Shockwave
Janada's a
was
bit of a noob bait.
it is, but it's also very strong on can be really strong on certain like core. Yeah, this Clinks is actually going to be breaking the game. Going to be going for all
So
Clink spells.
that argument I said, right? I can argue for Clink's picking but Searing Arrows because he's Clink's, and he is literally going to be Clink's.
And Juggernaut has gone for a spear and Berserker's Blood
What on
Life
earth?
Break. This is really strange.
So Omnislash unpicked, Bulwark Infest unpicked, God's Rebuke unpicked. God's Rebuke is like god tier spell for right click heroes.
Yeah.
Like Fiend's Grip early pick makes sense. Invis RP on Bloodseeker looks good.
Well, there's the God's
Huskar's
Rebuke,
build,
finally.
yeah, Snowball Track, God's Rebuke.
And Bane is playing Bane. So the Radiant side here are keeping it vanilla. And as a result, I think they're losing out on a lot of value. The Pugnus build is really nice, though. I like that.
Yeah,
And I like the Terrorblades build. But everyone else is kind of a bit unusual here. You would like to see... If I could, like, freeze time or go back in time and, like, allocate this out, I would say Klinks would definitely be a support with the Bane. and Terrorblade would be the off-lane core, and Pugna the safe lane. Sorry, the mid laner, and Juggernaut the safe laner.
Yeah.
They've gone for it. That's kind of the appeal here. So much diversity, and yeah, it's more the Dire who has the harder questions on how you lane this. Probably the first three: Tusk, Mars, and Magnus's cores.
So does Mag go Conjure Image now, or he goes Blood Rage? Like Conjure Image, Bulwark, Infest, Omnislash not being picked like blows my mind. So
Yeah,
Jug goes for the crit because he'll have attack speed from Berserkers. We have Omnislash now from Mars, but like Tusk, what? Tusk goes Infest, but no one picks Bulwark. That's amazing.
yeah, and I mean even Life Drain also is a very solid. There were a lot of good ultimates in this pool, so the ultimates being left over doesn't surprise me. But what does surprise me is the ordering and the picks on some of the Radiant heroes. I think there's like an excuse that can be made that if Bulwark wasn't in the pool, that the Dyer's draft is close to correct. But yeah, they had no one. The Mars has been a bit greedy, not going for it. I think the Magnus as well could have gone in instead of the Blood Rat.
I mean, Mars is going to be super farmed. What's their lane setup going to be though? Like you'd assume Mars position 1. Does that mean Magnus is going to mid?
Yeah, Tusk, you want the longer lane for the Blade Fury, I think.
To chase people, yeah, and then what? The Bloodseeker is going to have to just suck it up and be a support. He'll have Invis RP no matter what.
Yeah, this is I'm this is definitely a perplexing thing, but like I said before, the range of skill of the teams in this tournament is very diverse, and there's also a lot of teams, like a lot of good players who just didn't play in this tournament because they couldn't like come up with a team in time, or they weren't able to commit the time, or they didn't really know enough about it at the time, and now they are aware of what's happening. So this is the first season of this, and next season will be even better. But definitely a lot of learning, I think, for some of these players that are playing in this tournament. Definitely this draft. Yeah, sorry.
Clinks took Ghoul Frenzy instead of Burning Barrage.
Yeah, and he's also kind of just standing in base. So Dire side is setting up. They're organized.
They've warded.
They've warded. They're moving around as pairs. They're like moving towards the Zexstar Death Zone. And Radiance, it's been a slow day. You can tell the Clinks has just got his coffee. And the Bane was getting a delivery to the door. Amazon, I think it was. So
They're ready now. They're
ready.
going. So Clink safe lane. Pugna mid. That all makes sense. Pugna with 2 flash clearing abilities. Super good from that mid lane. So you can clear out the mid wave, go farm small camp, accelerate quickly, get your Ags for the shockwave. Dire defending both sets of bounty runes. Looks like they'll get 3.
Yeah,
Unless... Is Bane fast enough? I don't think he is.
If he nightmares, no, not in time.
He's got brain
also taking
sap.
brain sap. Yeah, so I mean, this mid lane is probably going to be the most interesting, because if Radiant want to get any advantage in the laning stage, it's got to come from this Pugna's build, which is, I think, if you look at the Radiant builds, it's the most reasonable. He's got Shockwave, he's got Rupture. Both of these are Agadam's Scepter upgradable spells. And yeah, I mean, this is where the value is going to come from. He's going to push the lane fast and take the advantage he gets here into the lanes. Meanwhile, he's up against Magnus. Very, very reliable model. Well-known player who's playing him. It is Tiaran Hino, who's a streamer. Kind of well-known in the ability draft community. Definitely see his name popping up, all over the place.
I don't think he can win this lane, though. Like,
Yeah,
he can get last hits here and there, but it's really hard.
I mean, I think
Like,
he's going to get
Pugna has 5 last hits, 4 denies. He's just going to get out-denied, out-last hit. He doesn't have a Quelling Blade. Yeah, I think it's rough for Magmid.
It is rough, and that's the only lane I think which is favorable for them. So it's like a must-win lane as well. But he will be able to do the small camp on the side with the Blood Rat. Maybe stack it a bit.
I don't know. Top lane's pretty good. Like I kind of turned my nose up a bit at Jug TB being in the same lane. It's like a 3 and a 4 here. Usually I want to see one of. Oh, they got him. They got him. They're trying to spin away on the Tusk. Oh, FaZe's dead as well. Double kill for Klinks. The Klinks model works out with a Ghoul Frenzy.
Let's backtrack a bit here. Let's quickly like change the spiel completely. So one thing is to know is that both of these teams are in the playoffs. So they've had to play other teams to get into this position. And one of the ways in which they've had to do that is, they've had to win matches. So we have to give them a little bit more credit than, their drafting would improve. How good could they be?
It's curious they got 2 kills down here, though. It's like the lane I least expected to do anything.
Yeah.
It's Bane model with Bane spells and Klink's model with Klink spells. But they Nightmare, they move forward, they go for another one. It's a lot of damage on the Huskar, and even that Fairy Fire is not going to keep him alive.
Yeah, interesting ice shards there, doing very little. Yeah, this is the lane I thought that the Tuskar would just run at them, and he would have Blade Fury and Ice Shards, and they'd be controlled, and we'd see First Blood coming here, but...
And they've got the naming synergy as well, Huskar and Tuskar. Surely the Tusk boys, the R boys, should be able to do much better.
And Pagna's just zooming around here. So yeah, like... This is something that also we saw in the Purge's ability draft tournament. There was a very clear difference between the teams that were good at ability draft and the teams that were good at Dota. And, there were some teams that were good at both. And those were the teams that excelled the most. But there's some combination that you need to, like, some balance between the two that you need to get. And it definitely seems like we have a tale of 2 teams here, where one of them is is more skilled at Dota and one is more experienced in AD. So we'll have to see how that
drafting.
Yeah, the drafting side of AD.
Because there's definitely still, like you say, the kind of underlying core skills of knowing when you're strong, knowing where to push, where to be on the map, what farm is safe, what areas are unsafe, like for what position you are. And then there's the AD drafting side, which is like broken combos, what synergizes well together, or what can I get away with in terms of farm versus team fight versus split pushing. And Klinks are just going wild on that bot lane, hey? That Ghoul Frenzy with Searing Arrows, he's just spamming them out, doing tons of damage.
Yeah, he's got his trends up. He's, I wonder what he's going to itemize on this. Like, is he going to go for a Klink style build, or is he going to go for something a little bit more unusual?
I mean, he's got Falcon Blade queued up, but I assume he just still go with the Maelstrom, the normal stuff. Yeah. Is Pugna diving mid? Yeah, he's going for the Magnus. Huskar, what have you got? Snowball and God's Rebuke. Oh! Shockwave finishes him off from long range, and now slightly, he can go for the second kill. A bonus one is going to be handed to him. He'll dive the tower, go through the trees. Oh, he's going to dodge. He can't. Giving the mid laner a double kill when he's already slaughtering the mid lane. He's 27-15. He's got 2 kills. Slightly is just out of control, and he's coming bot now. They've nightmared the Tusk. Slightly's going to get a triple kill. Is it within the timer? Can you finish it off in time? Go on, a few more punches. He's tanky, but he'll still fall. And Juggernaut kills top as well. Oh.
This is like playing a game where Rob jungles. All the lanes are a disaster for the Dire side. But, yeah, one thing I want to say is that actually for the side of... who was it? Was it... Dobby? There was a player called Dobby who was supposed to be playing in this for the one team who isn't playing. So I'm not 100% sure, but I would guess that one of the players here that is standing in is very good. I'll try and work out who it is.
Blop was telling me earlier there are a lot of high immortal players, so they are definitely very good as they get some revenge on that Klinks at long last. Shard, skewer, spin with that snowball all pairing up.
Top laner trying to go on this Juggernaut, but he's got 2 levels in Berserker's Blood, and the reflection comes in, so he gets out.
And he's got Helmet of Iron Will as well, so he's got tons of regen, loads of armor. And TB can just stand his ground. At least something on the board, though, for the Dire team, right? It looks so bad when you're 7-0 down. It's 7-1 now. 2k behind at 6 minutes is the bigger factor, as they might be losing some top. TB and Jug, well, they move forward, just chipping away at the Mars and the Bloodseeker, who are now pretty much out of resources. If I was Mars, I would be giving up on this lane. I'm like, screw it, I'm going jungle, in all honesty.
the TB is doing a really good job at zoning.
Another double. Pugner wants another double, Knoxville. He's on a mega kill streak. 5-0 at 6.5 minutes.
He actually had Blade Fury, and he had the mana to use it. So that's interesting. Because he wouldn't have died to the blast.
Sad times.
But yeah, this Pugner is just, like, this is what I said earlier, like, the way for Radiant to win, or, like, the most important thing is that the Pugner has a good game, and he is definitely having that. He is running around like a madman. And, yeah, he's, quite a bit ahead of the Magnus here. Doubling
Can they
up
kill
on
top?
CS nearly.
They're trying on the Jug. Again, he's so tanky, though, with that Berserker's Blood and Helm. TB
Inner
gives him
fire.
the inner fire and the reflection. Some good damage back. He's dropping low, though, as the spear chucks the Huskar back to the trees. They've kept them at bay. He'll get a kill as well. Bloodseeker can't find the TB, and this Juggernaut, oh, he's got that life break back onto the Bloodseeker. He's critting like a madman. He's taking them both down.
Yeah, this is a bit of a disaster, I think, and hopefully we're not going to see any panic coming out of the Dire side here. They need to just try.
What do you mean
keep
by
it
panic?
together.
Like a GG? Oh no, Pugner, you can't do that. I was watching the Mars jungling. As I said, I would have left that top lane ages ago. As bottom lane, they're losing the Tusk as well. It is just a slaughterhouse. Every lane you look on, there's dire heroes just dropping.
This brings back memory of the Join Dota hosted staff cups. You're gonna kill me for that later. But yeah, it looks like Pugner's gonna be pushing.
Which
the mid
team
lane.
has Smurfs on it? Which
Yeah,
team
yeah.
has brought ringers in, Ben?
No comment. I was talking about the previous one, by the way, when I was playing for 2p.com.
Yeah, you had a ringer in that one.
Small one. So the Tuskar has moved top, and do you think he's gonna be able to do very much more here? I've seen him throw ice shards, but this is the first time I've seen him Blade Fury.
Like, honestly, at this point, when his Pugner's running around, usually 9-10 minutes in, I'm looking at this game thinking, what item are they near, or what item do they need next? Is it a Blink? Is it Radiance? Is it Mech? Hand of Midas? Whatever. The Dire team, I'm looking around, they've all got, a Bracer, a Circlet, a Branch, or a Boots, and I'm thinking they just need to group up as 5, take a team fight just to, like, mentally reset. You need to have that kind of morale switch where you're losing. You need a victory to reset yourself, but also reset the map. Because the Radiant are running at your mid-tier 2, they're diving tier 1 top, they're on your outpost in the Dire jungle, they're pushing bot lane. You need to get them away from all of these objectives and kills, as Huskar dies again, by fighting them head on. So I honestly would just like to watch them defend a tower or group up, smoke, gank someone, kill someone, have a bit of a good time.
And also, this is a best of 3, so the one thing you want to do is just make sure that you're in a good state going forward, no matter what. Might it even reach that point where you just say, okay, this one's yours, let's go next.
It's getting close to that point. 7k lead.
At
So what
10
is-
minutes.
So Pugner's
Well,
not
this-
even rushing Ags, something we usually see from Ags builds like this, right? Is just rush the Ags, get strong. But he's going more for the kind of incremental approach, step by step, Ether Lens, after the double nulls, go for Boots of Travel so he can continue this tempo. Like, Radiant don't want to slow down, they just want to keep going. They know they don't need to farm, they can just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, if they start sieging towers, then he'll still be able to do that now that he's got Ether Lens. And here comes the Fiend's Grip. Magnus is going to die,
Yeah.
there goes the mid laner, everyone runs away.
That was your mid laner. He's dead now. Great arena from the TB with the inner fire pushing them into it. Snowball is going to send them back, but there's Shockwave, there's movement forward. The Pugner, he's thirsty, chasing them down at the speed of light. He wants Phasey as well. He's got spin, so this time he will get away from the magic damage, but slightly. He's just diving tier 3. He's got to die for this. You've got to make him pay. Pops his regen. Phasey, make him pay. Where's your team? Somebody come and help the Tusk.
This
Nobody
Magnus
was coming.
It was in that moment that he knew he was alone behind enemy lines. Steven Seagal is.
Wait, is he Pugner in this? Or
Yeah.
is he the Tusk?
Well, I mean, whoever wins, that's who it is. And we're going to be seeing the meta being used here with War's Punch coming out. Does half damage. Skewer comes back. And
Just
everyone's gonna
reminded
run
me
away.
of the old, you know, the LD, the LD
Yeah.
clip with the meld and the
Oh,
refraction.
the refraction! Oh my god!
Oh, the meta! Oh, the Walrus Punch! Wow! And he did literally nothing.
RP nearly hit no one there, but instead it was cancelled at the last second. I do kind of like this though, the Shadow Walk reverse polarity. It is a bit one-dimensional, but it is juicy.
It can get the job done, but you see the
There we
Radiant
go.
planting sentries everywhere, right? Always RP2, Nightmare, and no follow-through.
Yeah,
And now he dies.
yeah. This is very reminiscent of playing with Rob Dota, so it's pretty juicy.
Stop flaming Rob.
I love Rob. It's not flame,
Every decision
it's,
he makes is
passion.
perfectly reasonable.
Okay, should we say ARG Dota then?
No. Just I like jungling too.
Yeah, you're just trying to justify your own bad behavior. Klinks is going to TP
Ability
to the
draft
bot
is one of the
lane.
last few bastions of jungle play in Dota. Oh, is Klink's gonna kill bot lane?
How many hits? 3? No, he uses
Oh.
spin. That's cheating.
Yeah, he has no TP though, so he's dead.
He's got no
maybe
mana
if he gets
either.
mana for it. He's still gonna die. They've got grip and nightmare again. There's
doesn't-
no escape.
He doesn't have infest skill, or he'd be fine.
Oh, you're right. 4-2-1. That's 7 points. He's level
Yeah.
7. He doesn't have infest.
Let me go look at the stats on that. Okay, no one's ever done that in the history of ability draft.
I just want
So
to
you
point out, Pugna's level 11, no ultimate.
Oh. Yeah, speaking of no ultimates, who needs Rupture when they can never ever run away from you? Oh,
They just die before they get a chance to make a step. New meta. Okay, this is their chance. This is their chance. They're fighting. They're battling with the Omni Slash bouncing on the
Yes!
Pugna. They get him. The Godlike Streak's gone. The Bane now, maybe. He's tracked, shurikened. Dire, don't. No, don't run away.
Snowball. That would have been
Attempted Nightmare. He grips, but the Skewer cancels it. Oh, they've come back into it. It's 20-2, 20-3. Down goes
What?
Bane. Tira is dead on the Radiant. They wanted to fight. The arena's huge. Great inner fire, and Klinks is pummeling them from the sidelines. In come the Searing Arrows. Tyrion, he's dropping. Down goes the Matted Beast. And Tusk with Bloodseekers. The last two standing. And FaZe, he's got a skewer away from the danger. They've got a Boot of Travel Pugna coming back in, by the way. He's found the Bloodseeker, but he can't see him anymore. There's no reveal. Invis is invulnerability.
if he took a tiny bit more damage, he would have been able to just crush him there. Tiny bit more. But yeah, what I do like this healing ward, something that we didn't really touch on in the draft with all the other crazy stuff. Healing ward, one of those super, super nice, undervalued pick, sometimes left in the pool, and really just allows you to get the sustained push sieging going on. Is actually better on the Juggernaut model because you do have the reduced cooldown or whatever on it.
It's a bit sad that Healing Ward isn't affected by Holy Locket. Like there's a few things like that where, like Chen's passive when that was changed last year from percentage-based HP to just a flat now. So many little things like that you can have really broken support combos.
Mercy attack.
Oh, they're going straight in. He dropped his
does.
Pugna ward down, but Pugna's fast. Look at him speeding.
Yeah, the other thing is Legion Commander press the attack because it gives you extra HP regen. It doesn't actually. It's not a heal, you know. It gives the unit regen. So
It's like self HP regen rather than healing from you. Because that gets affected by a Sange that they're holding, right? But it doesn't get affected by your Holy Locket when you cast it on them.
yeah, as I was saying earlier, the what's nice with the healing ward is that on Juggernaut at 15, you just get minus 20-second cooldown on it, which is pretty substantial. And the alternative is 20 attack speed, so it's nice but not essential.
Or you just pick Rearm with it. I've seen Rearm Healing Ward just having these things zooming around the map.
Rearm is like the last bastion of broken stuff, I think. That and Tether. Tether's also got some good broken stuff.
You know, like Tether Infest and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, Dire Team, we don't have much in the way of big wombo combos. It is pretty much down to can the Bloodseeker land a 5-man RP and kill everybody with the damage they've got. Like Magnus mid has no items. He's trying to rush BKB. Huskar's got nothing. FaZe's Tusk is dropping again. He's got Urn FaZe. So they don't have anything really here that can combat the raw damage output that a Clinks and a Pugner's going to bring to them. Like, look at this Kesku, Huskar. It's like 3-4 hits. He has to go into the snowball to hide. They've gripped up the Bloodseeker, so no invis RP. While Juggernaut, he goes wild back onto that Magnus. 3 heroes just immediately dispatched with, and now it's Rax time.
Yeah, I think I was doing some research on these teams before this game, and Torgor, who is the Bloodseeker in this game, he was the person who had actually the highest rating in this game. He was regionally
by rating,
ranked.
you mean meme points?
Yeah, he was regionally ranked on the meme point scale 16, 17. So he had 25, 97 meme points, which is, it's pretty high. It's top 8% of the player base, and yeah, that was pretty good. But so far this game, he has not contributed very much at all. 0, 6, and 2. He's only level 8. It's just been a rough one for him, and very utility heavy draft, one has to say.
Ben, I am living proof that meme points mean nothing. I think I've got 2,800 meme points. I am top 400 in AD Europe, and I am garbage.
That is all of these points are true, but you know what Dota 2 is, and at this point, the Dire team look like they are completely flabbergasted.
Yeah, they never grouped up. They never got a fight. Then barely catching Pugner, but I don't know. Is he calling an ambulance for himself or for them? He's running back in like he wants to fight them. Shockwave blast. He'll take down the Tusk. Beautifully done.
I think you'll find that it's in the year 2022. It's no longer pronounced ambulance. It's pronounced wah wah wee wah, because the Dire side are getting destroyed. Home is in trouble.
Did you just make a Borat joke in 2022?
Yeah, it's wah wah wee wah. It's going to be wah wah wee wah, and the healing ward is providing. It's
the
ward
wee
battles.
wah wee wah van, Ben. It's not a wah wee wah. It's wee wah.
Okay, well.
Wah wah wee wah.
The entire Radiant team is grouped up. They've got the Aegis. It's a ward-on-ward battle. Healing ward.
Oh, they're killing Bane.
Ward.
Ben, they're killing Bane. They're getting a kill. They're getting a kill. They're getting a kill. They're getting a kill. No, they're not. They're going to die. Everyone's dying. Oh, the Juggernaut. No, he's going to armlet toggle. Armlet is there to save him.
RP on them all.
RP. Go on, Beacon of Love. No, he's Nightmare, so he can't even empower cleave them. He can't get a single kill. They're all surviving. TB with the body blocks, and a team wipe comes, giving this Clinks, who we flamed a little bit for picking Clink spells. He's beyond godlike. 14, 1, and 10.
Drafting skill 0 out of 10. Playing skill 10 out of 10. Average.
No, Ben. He gets 1.5 points for picking Ghoul Frenzy.
Oh, yeah, he didn't go full Clinks. Never go full Clinks. Yeah, but we are at 23,000 gold advantage at 23 minutes, which is on the Sunsfan level, Gaben's level shellacking. It might actually be higher, but this is a safe for family stream that we got going on here.
We need a new scale. We need absolutely a new scale. Well, the diving fountain. So we said jungling is acceptable in AD, and jungle farming is also acceptable in AD. New game, new rules.
Yeah, fountain farming is totally acceptable in AD. And 20 minutes, Gareth, clear your schedule, because we're going to be able to get a game in before the patch drops, I think, at this rate. If game 2 is any indication. Okay. Man. I need to get some water, because that game was yeah, I need an ambulance myself after that game.
That was one-sided. Fountain farming at the end.
15 kills on the Clinks, 12 on the Pugner. And Beacon of Love was the Beacon of Light for the Dire team. He had 2 kills.
Yeah, so Blop, a player on No Jungle, was saying quick briefing about this team. He was like, they're all immortal players, they're all pretty good, and they perform, but they pick weird stuff. And they've proven it here, like surprising us with some of the priorities they had, with Clinks searing arrows first, the Jug taking spear, reflection on TB, but it worked out in the end. Really, really well done.
Alrighty, so I guess what we're gonna do is
We're gonna throw
have
it to break
are we
here,
gonna have a little
guys, as we
break or
go
something, and then we're
into
gonna go straight
another
into game
lobby.
2?
As they have a sort of
Might need
15-minute window.
to send the first aid team over to the dire team. They might need some halftime recovery.
Well, they have 15
But,
minutes. They can recover for 15 minutes or so as they clear their headspace and get into the next lobby and ready to go. We'll be on a short break as we get into the next lobby here, guys.
And we're back.
Hello. Is Chicken with us yet?
Am I? Can the people hear
Okay.
me?
Yes.
Hello, people.
Very good.
Welcome.
Caw-caw.
Our resident expert.
I would show you the duck, but the last time the duck appeared, my graphics card came out. So,
Okay. We have a draft. First thing I see in the draft is Aftershock. Aftershock,
First
thing
great
I
to combo
see-
with stuff. What's the
Yeah,
first thing
man.
you see?
Heartstopper.
Hot
Oh, you see
Stuff is good.
Heartstopper.
I
I-
love Heartstopper. I don't like passing it up if I don't have to.
Hmm.
I really like it if I know that I have a model where I can kind of play carry with it.
The
Like
funny
for
thing
me,
is
I just keep
also,
getting nukes.
one thing to say is that like Aftershock and Hot Stopper, it's Earthshaker and Necrophos are the first two heroes to pick.
Yeah, that's
So
also true.
do you go for the the one that you want, or do you like offshoot it? The other thing
So
is
what's-
there are. Oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah, like you could take Heartstopper early, like they just took Heartstopper, but Aftershock's always risky because you don't know how hard the team's gonna. Wow, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of
Because
things
you-
which combo with it though. There's Arcane Bolt, Spirit Lance,
Counterspell,
Counterspell.
Split Earth
Uh,
is good still.
Counterspell's awesome.
There's Vacuum, right?
Yeah, I think that both of them are very good spells. I think Aftershock is maybe a tad better.
So Blink
that's
is
cool.
nice. Combo wise, what do we have? We have Blink Vacuum. We have Blink War Stomp. There's not a great variety of like Blink spells, but it's still a decent first pick. Fiend's Grip is always amazing.
Swashbuckle.
Enchant Totem, you get some good right clicks going.
There's Enchant Totem and Boundless Strike, so you get your Enchant Totem over the whole range.
Oh yeah.
There's Boundless Strike. There's Swashbuckle and Mana Break. There's Swashbuckle and Jingu Mastery.
You don't
There
see people
is-
get Swashbuckle Jingu Mastery too often, or at least I don't.
Jingu's kind of
that's
just a
a really
bad spell,
good
though.
True. I agree.
Like-
It's surprising to see it first picked again, but it happens a lot. I would have taken the Mana Break myself if I was
Uh,
picking between the two.
Yeah, Shield
I
Crash
don't
is
like
also
that.
really good. Ensnare Boundless. Yeah, that is kind of
No,
weird.
no, Fisher with
Oh.
Lucky Shot.
I mean, I don't like either of those things.
Well, it's like Fisher. Okay, you're like maybe block picking your Bane or Necro a little bit. Lucky Shot, I'm really not sure about. Like he could have gone for Nightmare or Ancient Seals, Silences, Ion Shell.
guys, they're getting away with. Oh, I was gonna say he's getting away with a lot of Aftershock stuff, making it back to him. There's only one more deny pick left.
The thing is, if
I
you
mean,
have two, there's Counterspell, which is a 3-second cooldown.
That's the
There's
one
a
I
couple,
picked.
right? There's Death Pulse, Brain Sap, Counterspell was the one we mentioned earlier.
Death Pulse makes a lot of
Because
sense here.
Because it's not just low cooldown, right? You want instant or fast cast point spells to also use it.
Yeah, a double edge should work too. I don't think you have to
Hmm.
use mana to proc Aftershock.
You don't,
But
but you're gonna take damage.
Yeah, I like after Death Pulse a lot, just because of the talents that you're gonna get as well.
Yeah.
The Death Pulse cooldown is insane.
Yeah, Death Pulse is top tier, but I think in this case I would take Counterspell because no one else is gonna take Death Pulse.
Agreed. And he randomed. That looked like a random.
Yeah, it did look like a random.
Do we have chat? We can't see
PL
chat in
gets
this mode.
mana break. Oh,
That would be good. So he went Blink first and then transitions to Mana Break Juxta. The bait and switch.
wow, that is.
So
gonna
he's
be
AM.
fun.
So there's
He's
one thing to,
AM PL.
one thing to say here is that there's only 2 spells that are getting picked by the rest of the enemy team before it comes back to him. So there's a high chance he'll get Doppelganger as well,
Yep.
which is premium with Blink, Mana Break, Juxta.
You can't
so-
let him. Monkey has to pick it.
Yeah, well, maybe this Leshrac will because this Leshrak's already tanking a Lucky Shot for some unknown reason. Reaper's Scythe, okay. I'm interested to see what the anti-mage goes. He doesn't have the mana to support Mystic Flare. Maybe Stampede.
Wall. I'm surprised Wall is unpicked. Like, I would, if I was the Lesh, I would have gone Wall, honestly, against PL.
Yeah, and it's nice with Fissure as well. You can just get people blocked in. But here we go, the
Yeah, I
wall.
like that AM takes. I mean, equally good against like Monkey Pango.
Okay, there we go. We got
Nice.
I feel like it's not even a deny pick. It's just a good pick. I don't think he even
Yeah.
realizes. But guys,
Oh, counterspell. Counterspell
Riptide
with
is
it.
going to make it back to Phantom Lancer, and Riptide, I don't know if you know this, it's pretty
Yeah.
freaking devastating with
Yeah,
the Juxtapose.
that's true. That is true. It's
Mirror
one of those
Image is also out
spells.
there.
Uh,
I
I-
was gonna say maybe PL picks up the Lance or the Phantom Rush, like the noob the noob traps, but
Okay.
Skyrath made sure he didn't get it.
I mean, Spirit Lance is really good on the Skyrath.
He does it. Oh,
The noob trap.
that is right. Do you agree with me that Phantom Rush is a noob trap? Like I've heard a lot of opinions on this spell, and all of them are negative.
So I don't really like it for the most part. I mean, I get it. Those illusions are going to get a really big hit out of the bonus agility, but because he's already got the momentum of the blink, I don't think it was really necessary to take a second mobility. I would have taken Riptide because it's insane.
Yeah,
And
I
like
think so too.
the illusions are going to lose all their damage if they have no mana, and Riptide would have changed that. Love Earthshaker's build, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. Absolutely love it. Heartstopper with double edge, infinite mana and death and life, and love it.
He needs a
Necrophos,
lane though, right? I
Yes.
find with Heartstopper, you need to not necessarily fully snowball, but you need to come out of your lane breaking even or like doing well.
Agreed. If you're not ahead with Heartstopper, something's gone wrong because you
Yeah, it
should
feels
be ahead
useless.
with Heartstopper.
It's
Alrighty.
It's like if the old days Viper was put into a spell, it would be Heartstopper. It's like lane domination, win lane, or you lose the game.
Yeah.
I do like Necro's build though. Like even with that potential random of the concussive. Yeah, I think he counter spell or whatever else was in there. But he does go back for the death pulse. He's got some decent stuff.
Should we go
He
through
does
the
have the
spells
shard.
one at a time? The heroes one at a time? Earthshaker. I mean, Double Edge, Iron Shell, Heartstopper, Echo Slam. Overall, pretty solid, I think. I really like the Iron Shell and the Heartstopper.
How do they kill Centaur?
Centaur has got, he's got an interesting he's got Vacuum Shield Crash, nice combination. Counterspell to survive, and he's got Rolling. There has been a swap that came out. There was a little bit of a swap there. So Fazzy was the Phantom Lancer during the draft. It's now gone into Beacon of Love. So as we were talking about, a lot in the draft is Juxta, Blink, Mana Break, and Phantom Rush. And Anti-Mage has got the unusual draft, the Boundless Strike and Snare, Diabolic Edict Wall, and Scarith Mage has got Fiend's Grip, Ancient Seal, Lance, and Arcane Bolts. Overall,
Skyrock has
yeah.
you right there, one guy, you're done.
Yeah,
all single target.
Yeah, he's going to be like a big glass cannon team fights. And then on the dire side, we have an aftershock combo in the form of Death Pulse and Concussive Shots, and on top of that, Pulse Nova. So that's interesting. Monkey King's gone kind of a newbie kind of build in some ways with the combination of Jingu Mastery and Swash, as well as value in the Monkey King ulti, Wukong's, and Doppelganger. What do you think about Pangolier in general? Like a Centaur with Enchant.
Yeah, I like if he goes eggs, he's got the blink for the hoof stomp secure. I mean, he's just gonna need to get some HP. Pangolier's not the worst body if you're trying to be a tank. It starts with 4 armor, decent. I like it.
And then Bane, 2 Bane spells, in the form of Brain Sap and Nightmare, Split Earth, and Song of the Siren. So the Nightmare into Split Earth is always nice to have.
Well, and he's going the shard build, right? So he's going to be having unlimited Split Earths, and if you do potentially get away, he's got the Nightmare. That's going to be a very frustrating post shard.
I don't know. I'm looking at this overall, and I feel like after game one, we saw this Dire team do very well with a draft that we thought wasn't particularly good comparative to the opponents.
Yeah, and now
And I
it's
feel
kind of
like, but yeah, exactly right. Like again, Radiant have like had a decent draft, but Dire have improved their draft so significantly that I feel like they again just have that skill advantage.
yeah.
Like we're kind of wondering, you know, how do they kill a centaur, or how do they deal with this PL once he's got levels and he's got that Juxta mana break running at you? I just feel like this Dire team are much better at playing the map and knowing that Leshrac, he's going to be running around with Blink Dagger, you know, maybe 12 minutes in, crushing people.
Yeah,
And I don't
that's
think
going to be
12 minutes is
where
enough time for PL Centaur.
yeah, and that's going to be where the things come to light as far as like the whole ability draft knowledge versus Dota skill. Like I personally feel Dota skill is more important.
Oh, did they kill him?
Yeah, they do.
They got him!
You've just
Oh,
And I
they
think
were
they're gonna
diving
kill-
at AM.
thanks.
They're gonna kill Leshrac too because they're gonna have
yeah.
shields. He's
No. Oh,
It's close.
he doesn't have vacuum. He has counter spell. If he had vacuum, he was done.
Oh.
But yeah, what I was saying is I personally think Dota skill and Dota knowledge is more important than ability draft knowledge outside of the broken combo phase. Like, no matter
Yeah.
how good you are at Dota, you can't fight
Yeah.
Rearm Sunstrike. Like,
'Cause
there's nothing to do.
That's how I feel like Dire are drafting. Like it doesn't feel like they know a large variety of combinations and synergies, and like I like these two spells together. I like these three spells together. We should get this and this. It looks like, you know, they pick Aftershock, they pick Enchant Totem, they pick Jingu, or you know whatever they think is imbalanced first, and then they start thinking about what their build should be afterwards. Like they take a lot of good stuff out of the pool and then they build off of that, rather than building a hero, you know, spells 1 through 4, pick a spell and then they build spells 2, 3, and 4 to actually build what they want.
Yeah, and that just shows the inexperience of drafting, or again, it might just come from overvaluing things. Like if you look at something and say, I don't want to fight that ever again, you might first pick it just because you have really bad experience fighting it.
Yeah, like Monkey picked you first, right?
Yeah.
And I don't like that. But he's done really well with it as far as his build overall.
He could have just taken Swash first and represented the Jingu or the Mana Break.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess what you're trying to say is like in general, like even the top players make big mistakes, like lots of mistakes in the draft, but it's just about like limiting those because the impact is like they just add up.
So that's not my point. My point is it feels like it's a conscious... Oh, they're killing AM top, potentially? Yeah, they've got the hits on him. Monkey will find it, and Lesh takes it. So I think...
Lucky shot.
I think Dire are making like a conscious decision of... Like, we are afraid of these abilities. Let's not let the opponents have it. And we want to allow them to have these. And after that first stage of drafting is done, where they take out the stuff they do not ever want to play against, then
They're
they
like,
decide
okay,
what they want
let's
to draft as a
see
team.
who's going to do what. Yeah, I see
Exactly.
exactly what you mean. Yeah, and that just comes from, like, it might be, and that's where I don't want to say it comes from inexperience, but it might come from experience of, like, we've lost, like, almost every game we fight this because people figured out how to break it. We can't fight this. We just can't. And, you know, maybe that's their mentality. Like, I hate fighting Sleight of Fist. Sleight of Fist is it's individual rampage skill when everything else is built around it correctly. And even if you don't do it correctly, you could still get lucky and get an individual rampage.
Monkey's in trouble. Oh, no, he's not. He's in the trees. They didn't chase him. Lecher's coming. He's got Fisher ready. Line it up onto 2. Jingu's going with a swashbuckle. Beautifully done.
Centaur goes down.
And
Yeah,
got
it's
him.
2-2. I mean, one thing I will say is that I wish the Earthshaker wasn't one of the side lanes. When you see the Dire's draft, you can tell who the cores are straight up. Like, you know, when you were looking at them, you could tell it's going to be Monkey and Pangalia and Necro, like, from the outset. So, I like putting the Iron Shell here against the melee, and that was very likely going to be in one of the side lanes.
I agree with that. I also like Heartstopper in a side lane because you're getting double the effect out of it in the early game, and it's huge. Just having that second hero nearby.
And you can also transition into the jungle on the side very easily not just the small. I mean, you can do that here as well with small camps.
But yeah, not as easily, not as variety. And those small camps could mean a lot of regen if you have, say, Ion Shell on you, which he obviously does.
He's still getting crushed though, right? Like Necro is 48-16, level 7.5. Earthshaker is about to break level 7 with less than 30 CS.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying is it's a ranged hero that's going to be able to just kill the iron, like, going to take no pressure from the Iron Shell at all.
Yeah, I completely agree. I would have side laned the Earthshaker for sure. I don't know who I would have put mid, I guess.
I think like PL has to be safe lane, so that kind of makes Earthshaker have to be mid. Because you don't want to be giving your Centaur like a 1 or 2 roll. He's definitely a 3.
Yeah, I could see how they.
And Earthshaker's just dying.
But,
Necros
like,
runs down with Max Death Pulse and Pulse Nova on.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of putting Earthshaker mid against the Necro though. And
Yeah, I would
if
have put
Earthshaker's not
Earthshaker
popping
off.
off.
I would put Earthshaker off lane and still make him like a 2. Like he's still farming as if he is the second highest priority on his team. And he would be able to go into the triangle and sustain very easily once he's got a couple of levels up.
But then you have a Centaur mid.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, it feels like Centaur here, he just needs to hit level 6 and run around and do stuff.
Well, maybe that's maybe that's the sacrifice.
Mid would have been the good place for that though.
But then, when he starts going to do stuff like level 6, level 7, who do you put mid then? I don't think either of your supports can leave the lanes and go there. Like, it just creates this weird vacuum.
I guess.
Whereas with Earthshaker mid, he can just stay mid for the first, 10-15 minutes.
Oh,
Nice Fisher. The Boundless Strike. Can Beacon of Love do it? He's got a bit of damage coming. He got the Edict tick just at the very edge of the range. They've brought 4 heroes top for this. They need more. There's a scan bottom. They're hunting for the sky. Leshrac gets away. So yeah, they're diving tier 1 bottom lane. Torgor trapped in the trees. They've got Enchant and the Stomp, so plenty of damage coming. Should be able to finish him off, while FaZe dies to the Necro and the Monkey King. Monkey gets an assist in there after like 5 minutes of waiting.
So it was like a 1-for-1, but then like both teams dived and getting or like trying to dive and get a kill, but then the Necro comes and just slam the door shut.
He's going for Boots of Travel first, eh? He really likes his bots.
He also had Blink Dagger queued up, which...
That's normal, right? That's the usual Enchant Totem Aftershock build.
Yeah, absolutely. But what's kind of weird is Aftershock and Pulse Nova being put together. Very often you'll see them as like separate things entirely. It's very they're very strong spells, so to see them on the same hero is a little bit strange, I think.
Oh, Sky just getting blocked by the Fisher. So nice here for the Monkey King to have that ability from his Lash just to kind of keep people in place for the Jingu and the Swashbuckle to come into play. He's nearly got his Maelstrom as well on this Monkey King. Yeah, go on, dive the tier 1. AM and snares him. Oh, interesting swash.
Yeah, that was a wild swash, but he's got Doppelganger. Yeah.
Monkey King's mobility makes him very formidable here.
It's so difficult to go on. Again, I feel like this... Oh, they're rolling bottom? Pango's trying to high-five the Centaur. Here's your Necro, though. Level 10 slightly, just straight on top of any target he sees. Run them down with the magic damage. Very simple. So yeah, Boots of Travel Blink. I was expecting, like, this build with Blink at, like, 12 minutes, but he's going to have both at 12 minutes. It's insane as Monkey King goes wild again.
Monkey King doesn't have his ultimate. What is up with this level 8 no ultimate pattern we have going on here?
Oh, Reaper Scythe on a full HP hero. Yeah,
Pangolier doesn't have his ultimate either. Either does Bane. What the fuck?
I'm okay with the no ulti on the wall, but everything else, the zings.
Well,
it's kind of interesting.
Oh, sorry.
Like we see it occasionally in like pro games from I don't know, like at Grimstroke, for example. Like you know that you need to max out your other skills because that's what your hero is built around, and you don't necessarily have like the mana cost or the mana pool to be able to cast like a big ultimate, for example. So I guess Monkey's thinking, I want max Jingu, I want max Swash. I need 1 point in Doppelganger, and that's like the core of his build. So his ulti is like a secondary thought. He'll like, I'll level that up later when I actually need it.
The Earthshaker, by the way, has got a Blink Dagger of his own, and we could see something bigger.
There's a vacuum on 3 with the Echo. They kill nobody. Oh, they get one. But in comes Slightly. Look at that combo with the Aftershock. He bursts through them, and Monkey with a triple looks for the Ultra. It's stolen by the Lash. 4 heroes down. And Centaur might be the 5th. He's going to get away. Oh, or is he? This Necro's on his tail so quickly with the Boots of Travel blink, and there's that Aftershock combo with the Death Pulse. Instantly casting, instantly stunning. And Necro on a killing spree.
Yeah, 115 creeps, 3 kills. Pretty good start for Slightly. No deaths. And he's just doing what he did in game 1, running around, destroying everyone. Hopes and dreams gone.
3 heroes on Dire don't have their ult. And they're still just running circles around him.
Well, it's like Bane doesn't need Song. Like Monkey doesn't. I'd probably argue he should have gotten ulti instead of the 3rd point in Doppel. I could understand maybe 1 or 2.
Okay,
now
we got
I'm
a point
towards you guys. Oh, we got Stampede going. Hell yeah!
He's gone.
Into the Reaper Scythe. But yeah, so this is where Dire team we saw in game 1 do a very similar thing, right? You take over jungle. You're playing aggressively as 3 or 4 heroes all together, and you're forcing your opponents into a 5vx, or just lose the game because your map is being sucked up. Like, look at where Monkey's farming, right? He's farming Radiant Triangle. He can still fall back on the lane behind him and the jungle behind him. The rest of his team are mid, kind of looking for a fight, and Necro goes to push that bot lane. So Radiant has literally no choices but one. They have to smoke, or just move out and try and find a pickoff, because they have nowhere else to go. Can they get one? It's on the Pango. It's a good attempt with the chain stuns, but he's only half HP, and they lose their mid laner. That's their mid lane Earthshaker, right? Just gone.
Yeah, vacuum wall not effective, but the Monkey's like, I'll walk through it anyway.
Doppel to high ground. No, he doesn't go up. So the AM and the Sky are going to try and slip away while they've got the Nightmare stuns coming on the Centaur and the PL. This fight is incredibly spread as Monkey King goes for another swashbuckle. He has just enough regen to stay alive, even against the Sky's burst damage. And now the Centaur is in a spot of bother. The Song's been leveled up. The Bane has his ulti at long last, setting up potentially for another kill as the Dire sweep through the triangle.
Alright, so their meta is we'll just wait until we need the ultimates, and we'll just hope we have the point at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's working, so I can't argue.
And it's working.
Monkey King, level 12, no ultimate. Or his
He's gonna
talent.
wait until he buys Ags. He'll buy Ags and then level it up.
That's what I was really hoping. I want to see him have an eggs with no ultimate.
To be honest, the fights have been so short, they're like, if he had to stand there and cast it, it would do
my god. PL has to blink away. When the Necro jumps him, he loses literally 80% of his HP in 1 second. Fortunately, the Necro's a little low on mana, so the blinks will get him away from danger as the Earthshaker makes a jump, and Bane saves the Lash. Okay, PL, you're role-playing as anti-mage, but yeah, that side of the river doesn't belong to you.
Where'd he go?
Disappeared.
No towers taken. Pretty dire state of affairs for the Radiant team.
They almost got mid.
Oh. That's a Poggy's He's got it. So now the question is, will he use it?
Honestly, I said this earlier. I think the fights are over. If he had to stand there channeling, he's like missing out on 3 kills.
Yeah.
He's doing so much damage.
So this is where they walk into the Roche pit to try and force a fight and just use it there.
He'll just put it down when they're like attacking a tower or something, just for the bonus armor.
Ooh, sleep coming out.
Nightmare.
Sky's mage.
He doesn't have... I'm looking at this Bane, like, where's his shard? Oh, it's 16 minutes in. It's a good grip. As they fit
There we go.
now the Wukongs, the monkey ult. Used for a kill on the Earthshaker. He's going to try and doppel towards that PL who has the blink away. They can't catch him. Top lane getting pushed. They go on the Pango now. Rolling Thunder after the Boundless and a stun. AM has a wall if you want to drop it here. As FaZe comes back in, he's got Vacuum and Shield Crash. Kesku just dies to the Pango though. Enchant Totem, Mech 1 doesn't need to use anything apart from a stomp and some right clicks.
Pango didn't even max out the Enchant Totem. I was hoping for some fat dunks here, like just smack them down, gets a crit machine, just get some big crits in.
It's weird that he maxed Retaliate instead of Enchant Totem.
I mean, it does allow him to jungle fast.
I mean, he's got 2.5 strength gain. I guess it's not too bad on the strength. Could be worse.
So with no grip, no Rolling Thunder, your Centaur dying mid lane. Oh, the Necro comes in. Yeah, Reaper Scythe, not quite enough to finish off the Earthshaker, but they should be able to close him down with that Lightning Storm slowing him. No?
He has 3
Looks like
hard
Necro-
stocks.
Yeah, Necro doesn't want to commit with such low HP and mana, while the Monkey King is clearing up top lane. Poor Torgor.
And I was talking up Torgor last game, telling everyone how good he was in meme points.
Man, even my in-game announcer is. I've got the announcer pack. And she's like, "This is not battle. This is slaughter." Yeah, that is absolutely true.
What was the score last game? Was it like 4 and 42 or something? And here it's 5 and 31.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it is a little bit closer.
Dire is, I mean, they're at 1,000 gold a minute. Over 1,000 gold a minute now. In advantage.
Gaben,
Just an advantage.
Gaben
Like
level
the
is
fact-
lacking. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, your Necro has just soloed their position 1, so why not dive tier 3's top? Kill Torgor, Rolling Thunder on the Monkey King's looking pretty good. Iron Shell and the Shield Crash gets the kill. Godlike Streak removed, and now the Song and the TP home. The Dire showing some restraint and backing up.
Centaur's a big boy. He's at that point where it's really... Why did he go earn? Centaur.
Oh, I think Pangoliers overstayed his welcome here, and he's gonna.
He's a very tanky boy.
Yeah, but
Is he
there are
tanky
3
enough,
people.
though? Oh, he's got ensnared.
Shield Crash, and another one of those undervalued spells, hidden spells.
Okay, now watch Necro come in and 1v3. Holy shit! What?
He's got overwhelming blink.
But Earthshaker is like a strength model. He was their mid. He's level 12. He disappeared.
Literally just poofed. I didn't even see him.
At least the PL survived, I guess.
I'm surprised that Necro's been able to get away with this for this long without a mana item.
Yeah, no Bloodstone, no Kaya, nothing. Oh, poor
Like,
Skyrim.
he just picked up Meteor Hammer, and Meteor Hammer's a minimal mana item at best.
Yeah. I just realized, by the way, PL is buying Battle Fury.
Oh, PL.
Oh, PL, you wonderful child.
That's just not going to help, my friend.
See, for me, that's this game is over. I'm going to buy Battle Fury and hope that we can extend for another 30 minutes item.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I was Dire Team clicking on the PL right now, I'd just be like, yeah, we won.
there's playing to your arts and then there's buying a Battle Fury on a PL when you're 30 kills behind at 20 minutes.
Oh, is AM dead? Blink, stun, death? Death. And mid lane, they go for more with the Nightmare onto the Earthshaker. Sets up for the stun nicely. And okay, he's gonna Echo Slam. Celebration Echo Slam, but the rest of his team's being dived and stomped. Pango's in on the 2 of them. They've got a good Thunder and Shield Crash on him, but look at that! Slightly clears up the PL. They'll find Torgor burnt by the Pulse Nova, and now it's all down to this one man left standing. Centaur, you're tanky, you've got Shield Crash and Counterspell. Maybe you can get away from them, but you've lost so much in the exchange here. They're just going to keep going. Look, the chain stuns Destroy him with a meteor hammer. Slightly's now out of mana, but it's all good as long as they finish off that kill. 12-0 on the Necro.
Slightly seems like the worst name ever. This guy is nothing. There's nothing slight about this guy. This fellow is going bazonks.
And just by existing in this game, he's slighting the skill of his opponents.
Okay, okay. You calm down, you slight of picker.
I don't pick Sleight of Fist. That's not
Yes,
me.
you do. Yes, you do.
No, I pick Dispersion every game. Me tank.
Dispersion Radiance. Oh, well. They actually got the combo going pretty nicely there. The song into the Wukongs. That was pretty juicy smooth. And
when you use GG boots, it heals all the little Monkey King statues. That's so nice.
Okay, so there's no towers left for the Radiant side outside of their base. And the Bane is being kind of bold if you think about it. Just standing here by himself. Gonna try escape. He's done for. Giving it back. That's me, by the way. I'm the Bane. Every time I'm the Bane. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna put this ward down, and then I get spell cast on me. And I look around, I look at the minimap, and everyone's elsewhere doing other things.
And then you go team? Team? Oh, Necro. Time to destroy them all. Oh, actually, Necro in trouble. He's got no defensive skill or item. He's been vacuumed and killed. Roshan secured for the Dire team, but yeah, he's getting tipped by his own squad. You've gone too far in there.
You know, if he had gotten the Bloodstone before he died, he probably would not have died there.
Probably
Got
not.
the heal off.
Oh, monkey.
What
One
is
more
the
hit on the
Senso
AM.
doing?
That's
don't know, what is
exactly
he
how
doing?
it goes with me. If I'm on a roll and I'm thinking, oh man, I should go Bloodstone. Right when I'm about to finish it, and right after I finish it. 2 deaths.
Yeah.
I think he's cursing
Oh,
himself.
boy.
If he finishes his Bloodstone, if it's anything like me, he's gonna die right after he makes it.
What, he
Why not?
buys back? They just want to end the game. I mean, they've got Aegis, they're high ground pushing. So he's got boots of travel, and he TP's bot. The rest of his team just diving top. Earthshaker, Sky both drop, and Necro, yeah, he TP'd bot to split push after buying back.
Because he knows he doesn't need the Bloodstone, because it's a curse.
Yeah, it's a curse.
A trick.
Well, he's looking to connect up with his team here. Meteor going on the middle. Why not, hey? Why not? Have a Meteor for the vibes.
So because of his buyback and TP, they've got all 3 lanes pushing in, and then they just die. Oh, okay, your position 1 PL. He's got Battle Fury now, but he's dead for 40 seconds. Slightly problematic, as the Split Earth Shard is stacking up stuns, and the Monkey King, with that static charge from Mjolnir on him, just charges in towards that poor anti-mage who bought back at not a second ago. And the Radiant base is in disarray. FaZe, he's gone into little shield ball mode. He's trying to roll away. He's dragging their attention away from his base. But I don't think like the Dire team are going to be evacuating anytime soon. And yeah, that's the correct chat wheel line.
The most appropriate chat line ever.
Oh.
Guys,
Well-
we're gonna lose chat wheel lines with the patch.
No.
Oh, yes.
I'm so sad.
Okay, one last fight for the Radiant. Show us what you've got.
There
That wasn't. That wasn't.
That's what a
anything.
PL with Battle Fury does.
Well. Good game. 55-9. Oh.
Gaben anus level shellacking is what Suns fan would call this one. This
I
one
mean,
is.
if this was a Counter-Strike map, it would be called DE_stroid.
That's my joke. Gareth, I'm gonna send you a plagiarism and a cease and desist letter for that one.
What do you mean?
Well, we'll talk
Definitely
about
not yours.
it. That's mine. Mine. Anyway,
Goodness
this
gracious
was a very excellent game by Drugalki, outplaying and destroying their enemies. 2 quick games. Leaves us enough time before the patch comes out. What do you have to say about that? So everyone can go have a half an hour break and then, play a game of Dota. But yeah, pretty excellent game. And Drugalki were the second seed from the group stage. So they will be going up against the winner of the other match, which was No Jungle versus TRC. I think it was. They're the two favorites moving forward. I would have to say. But yeah,
I think they're in
Yeah,
different,
so No
different arms of the
Jungle
bracket.
has already claimed victory over TRNC as they were not able to play today and had to forfeit their given matches. And I believe we still have the other ones still outstanding, so we don't have any updates on those currently.
Okay, well, I mean, obviously we'll be sure to check those out on the High Ground Vision Twitter channel, which you're watching, or the Twitch channel which you're watching, or the Twitter handle which is Dota HGV. I think it is.
That's correct.
Yeah. So all the information will be there, or alternatively on the Ability Draft subreddits, the Ability Draft Discord, multiple methods of communication. And yeah, what's the schedule for the rest of the day, RGB?
Well, we're
Tell
going
us
to
what's
move
up.
into the North American brackets for later this evening after the patch drops in approximately an hour, if my little birds tell me correctly here. Or no, I guess 2 hours approximately still. Give or take, and then we're going to have Pizza Happy Meal duking it out against Good Juju and Puppet Master against the Bloodhounds, and essentially Gyro 2OP and Daft Rogers have a bye in the first round here as they are the top seeds in the North American side.
North America was 6 teams, right? So
That's correct, yes. So we had
So that's
to
why
do
there's a bye
the
for
two
two,
bye.
but EU was 8 teams going in, so there were no buys. That's why we did have the 1v8, 2v7 matches scheduled out. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how EU carries on. And for those who are not aware, there are a variety of excellent casters going to be joining the stream for the remaining of the playoff games. We got Trent, we got Lyrical, we got Cinderin, Sunsfan. We even have that Dick Dastardly bastard. So Action Slack's going to be coming on as well as people who I'm not that as familiar with, and hopefully you'll give them a chance and check them out too in the form of Tint, Math Magician 10, Brightside Dota, and Apon Zeus 7, as well as your lovely hosts, Canadian Chicken and RGB Nuts.
Now, some of these guys have been with us for a long time here in terms of these other casters have been doing other games and whatnot throughout the various group stages and picking up, and they're going to come on and do some guest casting with us in terms of, being on the main stage, as it were.
Excellent. Can't wait to see that. But I think that's gonna be. Are you gonna have a break, or are you gonna shut the stream down?
We're going to
What's
shut the
situation?
stream down as we get ready to do some analyzing of this patch note that's going to drop here in a couple of hours. But I'd first like to thank both of you for coming on and hosting the first of the King of the Pool and being guinea pigs here as we got some of the technical things figured out, hopefully, for the rest of the casters. And hopefully you guys had a blast casting some ability draft.
Yeah, it was a good adventure, and hopefully people enjoyed watching a little bit of EU ability draft. Now they can
Indeed.
play it.
Apocalypse didn't happen, so everything went well.
Hear, hear, knock on wood. Contingencies for all plans, and then nothing happens bad. That's the way of it anyways. Well, we'll wrap it up here, folks, until we proceed to cast some North America games later today. We'll be back in approximately 7 hours from now, when it's roughly 8 EST, to do some North American ability draft games, and we will see you all then.